Hello everyone, you're watching the AZEEZA show and my name is Farheen Khan. This week we're actually going to be speaking about basically what it means to breathe and the importance of breath, and who better to talk about that than someone who is actually dealing with muscular dystrophy. So with us on the show this week is actually our guest, Sakina Sadikot, and she's an advocate for muscular dystrophy. Welcome, Sakina, on the show.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sakina. I'm a mother of two children living with a disability. My disability is a neuromuscular disorder called muscular dystrophy. I have no function in my hands or legs, and I'm not able to breathe on my own as well. I use a ventilator to assist me with breathing. I am currently unemployed and divorced.
So Sakina, thanks for being on the show. I really want to take a moment to just dive right into the discussion. So can you tell us, what is muscular dystrophy?
Muscular dystrophy is a neuromuscular disorder that is progressive and genetic. I had my father and my older sister pass away with the same illness. It is a degenerative muscular condition that over the years I have been transitioned from walking to wheelchair to using a ventilator to breathe with.
So Sakina, one of the things I'm interested in knowing is, I'm sure our audience is as well, what was your journey like? When did you end up developing muscular dystrophy, and how has it been?
Okay. We arrived in Canada 18 years ago. I was recently married with two little children, almost a year and 2 years old. I had no disability then, and as soon as we arrived, within few months, I was feeling very short of breath, and one night I didn't wake up, and I was in a respiratory failure, and I was taken to the emergency. I did not wake up for several hours, and they had put me through a whole ton of tests, and there was no positive results. I did open my eyes 12 hours later, and from then on, I have been on and off the ventilator, and then gradually progressed to not being able to walk, and then not having any function in my hands. But all of this was in parallel to me being a mother and raising my children. They were very young, and they had really lost out a lot of their beautiful childhood. They have not had any extracurricular classes, or they've not enjoyed any normal stuff that children would do, only because they always had to come home and care for me. We've had very little support in raising the children, and I think we need more support, especially for nurturing moms, because we are quite the forgotten group, because we are only categorized as disabled, but not mothers, and I think the children needed that help. They hardly ever took lunches. They were offered lunches from their school staff and their friends. They hardly ever got any hot meals, or they hardly ever had any homework help, and so all of this was quite. It took a toll on my marriage and my children's childhood, but we've come a long way. They are 21 and 20 years old, alhamdulillah now, but if there was more resources out there and more support, and generally religious support, community support, suppose we would have been a better family on the whole.
Tell us about your family and your children.
I have two children, as I said previously. I have a boy who's 21 years old, and a girl who is 20 years old. They cannot call boy and girl. They consider themselves adults, and they are really. The Toronto Star quoted us as mom gave them life, and they gave life back to her. They have been my angels, my soldiers. It's been a long ordeal for them, and it's just an infinite future where they don't see mom getting well, but they think that she has to be there, and they have to continuously support her. And I have been getting weaker and progressively deteriorating, and nothing changed in their way of life. They still argue with me. They still, consider me as mom. They demand things like nothing's changed, and I think that's what has kept me going, despite all of the things that happened in my surrounding, the loss of my parents, my sister, my marriage. The children have been my driving force. They continuously gave me that push that, mom, you have to be there for us. You have to, we have to have the normalcy of every family, even up to date now. Since dad is also not there, they will say we have to celebrate New Year's like we always did. So they are amazing kids. They do have their own challenges, but they do not speak about it to me. I know they deal with it amongst themselves. So I am so blessed, and I hope all mothers are blessed with such children.
And can you tell us about your children? How have they played a role in your journey?
So I have been married for a very long time. I have a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old, as I said, but we were separated for a few years and recently divorced. I think families like mine suffer because there is a financial and caregiver burden on the spouse, and then ultimately we are a broken family. But saying that, I've still managed really well. When I was told that I cannot move a step further, I have found support groups in the community, in the religious groups, and I think we should not give up, despite the fact that I have lost both my parents. I have lost my older sibling. I have no husband or a spouse. I do manage to supervise all my care, all my household chores, and so I think this independence is very important. The feeling of independence is important for us to, uplift ourselves and keep going no matter what the situation is, and that's exactly what I've done. And only because I have my children to look after, and they need me, and I need them.
Right, and then Sakina, what are some of the warning signs that people should be looking for that the audience should know about?
So the symptoms and signs that I felt in my life was that I was not able to do stairs very well. I wasn't able to squat. I wasn't able to walk fast, and I was falling a lot after that, and then I was feeling very short of breath. So I think onset is really the upper pelvic muscles, and then it comes down to your knees and your feet, and then it goes to your upper body. But in some very rare muscular dystrophies, like my family, we are affected in our lungs, very like almost onset of the illness.
And can you tell us a little bit about the Muscular Dystrophy Association? What do they do?
So Muscular Dystrophy Canada came into our lives when we really ongoing needed equipment and all kinds of help, mentoring, guidance, resources, information, and then it became a part of our lives. Over the years, I have been a part of their panel presentation. I have spoken at their various events, the firefighters, charity, and I was also awarded the Client of the Year, the David Green Client of the Year Award in 2014. I have been a former employee of SCI Ontario. I have volunteered for them. I have done a couple of peer support assignments and also assignments online. I have volunteered at the public library, been a teacher there for English, and I have recently been part of another group that's called Canadian South Asians Supporting Independent Living and Dean Support Services. But I would like to highlight the work that Muscular Dystrophy does. They have not only been just a funder, they have been there. They're helping me for the smallest things, the dream I had of going back home and seeing my mom. And mom passed away a few years after that, and they have been there, navigated the system, and help prepare everything that I needed in order to travel on an airplane, which is quite scary with the ventilator. And I was able to do that, and then I have been able to do several trips after that. And anytime anything breaks down in the house, they are always there. They do not ask so many questions. They are supportive. And this year, fortunately, they have appointed me as their ambassador for the year for Muscular Dystrophy Canada.
And what advice would you give to families that are dealing with a family member who has muscular dystrophy?
My advice to families who have persons with disabilities is that do not stop at any point, not give up the things you love to do, the things you enjoyed as a family, with your children, with your parents, with your spouse. Never think that it's not enough, because the people who love you will stay and stick by you, and that way when you get out you bring hope to others as well, and in general bring about a complete inclusiveness only by your own participation. And I think my only advice is that especially with parents who have children with disabilities, they try to not take them out. I think they should get out and be able to enjoy the normal stuff that all families do and the normal things that children do, despite whatever barriers you have. And in fact, if you have barriers, address it. Make it your voice and bring out others and make a platform where all of us can get together and build stronger communities, so families like mine do not break, and then that way we can all grow as individuals and as a family.
Thanks so much, Sakina, for your courage, for your resilience, for your strength. It's definitely not easy to go through what you're dealing with on a day-to-day, and if we can do anything to support you in the work that you're doing, please do let us know, and we wish you all the best. And for those watching, thank you again for watching this week. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Until then, take care.